Hello guitar players, I'm Andy Paul and this is Guitar Guru channel. This is lesson number 4 and in today's lesson we're gonna talk about scales. If you missed my previous lesson, I strongly recommend to watch lesson number 3 and lesson number 2 on my channel. Second lesson was dedicated to what is music, basically rhythm, harmony and melody. So melody is gonna be scales. If you missed chords, lesson number 3, again, watch it on my channel. I'll put links in the description below. So what is melody and how exactly you play a corresponding scale to a corresponding chord? Minor scale for minor chord, major scale for major chord. Essentially, it all comes down to learning one main scale, one formula scale. There is only one. I would call it mother scale, which is minor and major, and they do not exist separately from each other. Minor is a continuation of major and vice versa. So this one mother scale is called natural scale or diatonic mode. Sounds something like this. This is C major, and if you just play the same scale but resolve it to A, which is parallel minor, you get minor. So there is only one scale and one formula. Let's talk about minor and major formula and how they are continuations of one another. Before you start applying minor major formula, let's talk about tabs or tablatures and how you read melody or scale off of the tablature, right? You will see lines which are strings, and keep in mind large string is number 6 and skinny small string on the bottom is string number 1. So if you want to play chromatic scale, means no melody, all available notes in music in a row, you would do it like this. Open first fret, second fret, third, 4, and then you go back one by one. Open, first fret index, second middle, third ring, pinky on 4, and then you lift fingers one by one. That's how you play chromatic scale. Let me show you what it looks like on actual tabs on paper. Well, tabs look like 6 horizontal lines and they represent strings. Just make sure you understand that 6th string is your bottom line, and string number 1, which is skin, small string, is gonna be on top. It's exactly opposite when you see your guitar from up above, right? When you hold your guitar on your knee, 6th string is gonna be on top, right? But it's bottom line when you read tabs. It's just a separate topic to argue if it was the best way, but actually when you see the fretboard of your guitar from up above, that's how you see strings. The closest one is number 6 to you, to your eyes, right? That's why they think it's easier to put it this way: 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So just in case, I put number 6, large string, this line on the bottom, and number 1 on top. If you want to write down a big chromatic scale, right, it's big chromatic scale. You start with open 6 and put 0, right, because you play it unfretted, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to cover frets, number 1, 2, 3, 4. Correspondingly, you use index, middle, ring, pinky. Same way, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers will be put on string number 5. Same way on string number 4. And now on 3rd string, make sure you do not include pinky, because if you press string number 3, 4th fret, it will sound same as open 2nd, right? Remember, we tune guitar using 5th fret method, except string number 3 and 2, there is 4th fret unison, right? There is no 5th fret method applied for this 2. That is why it's gonna be a shorter scale on string number 3. But on 2 and 1, you just copy paste same numbers, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you reach top note 4, you just play it backwards. Pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Next string, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Then ring, Remember, we don't have fret number 4, so you'll skip pinky on string number 3. Other than that, you play pinky, ring, middle, index open on all other strings. Play each note only once. This is how you practice big chromatic scales, something that I just explained on paper. That's your actual physical exercise on your guitar. Start with position, stretching fingers, putting them each on each fret, lift, and begin with 0 on 6, index, middle, ring, pinky. Leave them all at the same time and repeat it on string number 5. Lift all with 0 on 4 and repeat. Now keep in mind there is no pinky on string number 3. So here there is no pinky because it will create unison, right? So you stop with B flat and then play open second. Again, all 4 fingers and all 4 fingers on string number 1. Then leave them one by one and go back to 0. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st, 0. Next string. 1, 0. Next string. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then you keep going for minutes. The final result that you're supposed to have is this one. Think about coordination between right and left hand. And from a distance, when you can see both hands, it will be like that. Now, when you're familiar with chromatic scale, there is big chromatic 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or small chromatic without open strings. You can do it in the second position. So first 4 frets, position number 1, second 4 frets, position number 2. So when you play 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's your small chromatic scale. No exceptions now for any string. It's index, middle, ring, pinky on each, and then back. But you see, chromatic scale doesn't sound like melody. It's just all notes in music available back to back. To create actual melody and make it sound like minor, sad, or major, happy, you need to apply minor or major formula. This minor or major formula is what we call diatonic mode or natural scale. That's the only scale you need to memorize a formula for. Everything else is basically a modification of this minor or major natural scale, right? So only one formula exists. Let me show you major. We'll start with open 6, which is E, right? And if I start from open 6 E and apply major formula, I'm supposed to get all the notes for E major, natural scale, or diatonic mode. So I start with E and I go tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That's exactly what they mean when they say major formula. 2 tones, semitone, 3 tones, semitone. Again, tone means 2 frets apart, big step, and second one, big step, and then small semitone, or adjacent fret. Then 3 whole steps, 3 big steps, and again semitone. Just remember, 2 tones, semitone, 3 tones, semitone. If you apply the formula correctly, you will reach from open 6 E to another E on 12th fret, and you can read that formula back, and you'll get scale that corresponds to E major chord. So E major scale corresponds to E major chord. Now, if you play in minor, you need to memorize minor formula, and minor chord will have a corresponding E minor scale, natural scale or diatonic mode. You start from E as usual and go tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. Again, tone is 2 frets apart on the same string between notes, and semitone 1 fret. One more time, memorize the formula. From open or from any note on any string, you go tone, whole step, semitone, half step, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. All right? Another way to memorize it better is whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. So minor is a little bit harder to memorize and read back. But with practice, you will get E minor scale that corresponds to E minor natural chord. Now let me show you how to play natural scale minor or major in one position. So in real life, I doubt you would play too much like going up and down the neck with one finger, right? It's not efficient. You want to be able to play scale in just one position, something like that, all right? Let's review it with A minor, A major example. A minor, if you start from 6th string 5th fret A, and you apply tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, you will get 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, and back for A minor natural scale that corresponds to A minor chord. If you apply major formula, I suggest you start with middle finger and do 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 6, 7 in terms of frets you use. And then you can practice the scale up and down, and this A major scale will correspond to A major natural chord. Let me show you what it looks like on actual tabs on paper. Here's your A minor natural scale or diatonic mode on tabs. In one octave, it's going to be 5, 7, 8, and that's your tone, semitone. Tone, tone, semitone. That's minor formula. Tone, tone. All right? That will complete one octave from low A to high A. If you want to add one more octave and use all 6 strings on your guitar, you will just have to put number 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. That's gonna be 2 octaves or even slightly more than 2 octaves, because the second octave ends here, of A minor natural scale. All right. If it's A major, your tabs are gonna look like 5, 7, and then 4 on string number 5, because it's tone, tone, then semitone, right? And if you want to complete one octave, it's gonna be 4, 6, 7, right? Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So semitones are here and here. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That's one octave. If you want to extend, you put 4, 6, 7, 5, 7, 4, 5, which completes higher octave, and then one more reachable note is fret number 7. But basically, it's outside of the second octave, right? This is one octave. That's another one. Yeah, I'm sorry. First octave ends here, and then second one starts here up to the 5th fret on string number 1. 7 is an extra note, all right? That would represent A minor natural, A major natural scale. All right, now very important concept in music, probably the most important one when it comes to chords and melodies. It's a parallel minor and major. Parallel, AM, let's say, is parallel to C, right? Or G minor is parallel to B flat major. This is exactly what they mean when they say parallel chord. Means for these two chords, same scale is gonna work. We'll get back to A minor example, and you're supposed to know that A minor natural scale, if you apply formula correctly from A, it will give you only harmonic notes. Basically white keys on the piano, all right? All the notes I'm playing here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, are white keys on the piano. We're skipping all sharps and flats. No black keys ever played on the piano, right? All white keys in a row, though. And then, if you try any other minor scale, you will see a lot of sharps, from 1 all the way up to 5 sharps in other minor keys. But then when you start covering major tonalities, and you try major scale, and you start from A sharp, from B, C, once you reach C, you will notice, if you play it on keyboard, that again, you cover only white keys on the piano. That's what it looks like on paper, on actual keyboard. So here's the trick. That's how you see that one formula is an extension of another and how parallel minor and major work. As you know, minor formula is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. That gives you minor. But then if you continue and add one more, right, you can start copying after it's ended. You again put tone and semitone, and you can continue further, right? You will see that it's gonna be from one point, tone, tone, semitone, 3 tones, semitone, which is major scale. So you see how they are one inside of another. And if you continue with that formula, again, from that note to that next octave is gonna be minor, from here to next octave, C is gonna be major. Another illustration of how it works can be put in white keys of the piano, from starting with A, right? It will be A minor natural scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. In A minor natural scale, if you apply formula correctly, you will not see any sharps or flats. So these are white keys on the piano, all white keys in a row. From A to A, 1 octave of A minor. But if you continue, and after A, you know, comes B, right? And then after B, again C, and then D and E and so on, you will see that from C to C, it's a parallel C major. So again, it's going to be all white keys, but from C to C, you will hear C major scale. Using exact same scale from A to A, all white keys, it will be A minor. This is how AM is parallel to C. And in a similar example, it will be each minor has parallel C, has parallel major. For example, AM is parallel to C, but A sharp minor will be parallel to C sharp, right? B minor parallel to D major, and then so on. C minor parallel to D sharp major or E flat. That's how it works for parallel, minor, and major. Formula is an extension of one another, and you can see that minor is inside of major and vice versa. Okay, it will go in layers like this in all directions. And here we go. Best visual example ever to learn music notes is to see it on a keyboard. We have white keys that correspond to harmonic or natural notes, and black keys, sharps or flats. Basically, you will see sharp sign or flat sign in front of a note, and it makes it black key. For example, you have A and sharp on it, you'll have to play a note to the right. If it's A and flat next to it, you'll have to play a note, black key, on the left. All right. So again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is basically harmonic notes. From A to A, that would be minor formula and A minor scale. No black keys, right? Same white keys, but from C to C give you major. And that's how they are one inside of another. So basically from C to next C, again, C major. But from A to A inside it, all right, as an extension is parallel minor. So again, AM is parallel to C. It's all white keys, the entire white keyboard on your piano, right? Where from C to C, it's C major, from A to A minor. Thus, if you play C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, you resolve it to C major. But then inside, if you continue to B, A, you will resolve to parallel A minor. Again, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do is C major, but do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. La is going to be A minor, which is parallel to C major. It works both ways. You can put AM parallel C or C parallel to AM. Know that A minor is parallel to C. This is what it's gonna look like in the second position. If I play do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, it's basically C major chord and C major scale. If I go exact same notes, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, and add 2 more steps down, I will get parallel A minor. So right here, It matters of playing do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, C major, or do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, A minor. So I'm using same scale to cover A, M, and C. It's just a matter of where you stop. If you play a melody and you resolve it to C note, it's a C major chord. But if you do exact same and you stop with A, it will become A minor. So whatever note is played in the end and resolved to a corresponding chord will determine if it's major or parallel minor. But the scale is exact same. So minor and major formula is basically extensions of one another. You learn only diatonic mode. Everything else, like pentatonic, harmonic minor, melodic minor, harmonic major, are gonna be variations or modifications of this formula scale. In the description under this video, find tablature for A minor natural scale or diatonic mode exercise. It will look like this. Just keep practicing for a couple of minutes every day, making sure you have coordination between picking and moving your left hand fingers. Do not rush, always play it slow, even slower than I'm showing right now. In the exact same positions, keep first two notes and start from pinky, which is third major, parallel major note. From C, playing exact same scale, it will sound like C major. C. And that's how you practice them. Now, after you mastered diatonic mode and you know what natural scale is, which is basically minor and major formula, and each minor chord has a parallel major, you can review a couple of modifications or so-called modes, right? The most common one, I would say, is pentatonic, especially when it's in minor position. There is no second and sixth. So the way you modify your natural scale, you remove second and sixth note because they are the trickiest one to make it sound consonant, right? There are dissonant intervals and there are consonant intervals. So 2 and 6 are most dissonant ones. It's hard to employ them when you improvise. That is why guitarists just thought, why not remove just second and sixth and play everything else from natural scale, and you will get very slick, very consonant scale, and it's kind of easy to play fingering wise. Once you skip B and F, which is second and sixth note in A minor, you will get this form, this application: index pinky from A, index ring, index ring, index ring on string number 5, 4, and 3, and then index pinky again on top 2 strings. So it's extremely easy to memorize. Now you can play the scale when you improvise, and pretty much any note you play will sound consonant. There is no dissonance. You can stop and make any of these notes longer, and that's what pentatonic is all about. Second most common modification of a natural scale is going to be harmonic minor. This time we're not going to remove any notes, but modification, you can remove one or a couple of notes, or just change 1 or 2 notes from natural scale. So in this case, to play harmonic minor, to make it look and sound like minor, but at the same time has an edge of a major, I would say, relative major scale, right, would be raised 7th in minor instead of regular 7, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 G in A minor. You will play G sharp. So you skip G and play raised 7th G sharp. It's gonna be all white keys on the piano: A, B, C, D, E, F, and 1 black key, G sharp. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp on string number 1, and reach high B, after which you go back. One more G sharp can be played in a lower octave and resolve it to A. That's how you exercise your harmonic minor scale. Play it slow, work on coordination between your picking and left hand finger movements. Keep fingers close to fretboard. Avoid extraneous movements. This is harmonic minor. In case you want major version, you play it like major scale, like with third being C sharp, right? Tone, tone. But other than that, exact same notes as it was in A minor harmonic. So now it's gonna be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp. Again, that raised 7. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp. So basically, difference between A major harmonic and A minor harmonic is third note, A, B, C for minor formula, or A, B, C sharp for major. Other 6 notes are exact same in A major, A minor harmonic. And the last modification I wanted to talk about today is melodic minor. So this one exists only in minor version. Remember how in harmonic minor we raised 7th. In melodic minor you raise both 6 and 7. So your notes are white keys on the piano: A, B, C, D, E, first 5, and then F sharp instead of F, G sharp instead of G, and A. Make sure on your way back you do not play these sharps. The trick about playing minor melodic scale is that you raise 6 and 7 only on your way up. But backwards, you play it as if it was natural A minor. One more time. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. On your way back, G, F, E, D, B, C, B, A. So only white keys on the piano when you play it backwards. That would be it for modifications. So I hope now you get what minor and major natural scale is. We call it diatonic mode also. And a couple of more modifications we covered was pentatonic, harmonic, and melodic minor, which is raised 6/7 and regular natural scale on your way back. If you have additional questions, please share your thoughts in the comments. I will try to answer most of the questions as far as I can. All right, I typically check the comments, so you can talk to me directly. And if you have a different experience, learning scales, or you have a better method to memorize minor major formula, please share it in the comments below.